Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream where I'm going to walk you through Candy for Workspace. Candy for Workspace is an enterprise ready advanced AI tool for lawyers and law firms using Google Workspace. Google Workspace is the paid version of Google. It is not the free version of Google. So if you're using the free version of Google, this will not work for you, at least currently. The point of releasing the tool as it is with this narrow sliver is I want to just get users who provide me with feedback. I do not care about you paying money right now. I want to make the best product I possibly can. So what that means is you get to benefit from my work with no cost to you. So if you like using ChatGPT or GPT-4 or whatever, you can use this tool with zero cost as opposed to the traditional cost of the vanilla version of the tool. Another thing to note is that confidentiality and client privacy is built into the tool. So with OpenAI, a lot of people are concerned about the amount of confidentiality that is provided to the user and therefore to, in the case of the legal profession, the client. We have a DPA with OpenAI that prevents them from using our data, in other words, your data, for training or testing. So your data is protected from any sort of other thing that might be going on with their practices. Additionally, the way that we've built our tool is to make it so we can't even really access it. It is available to us in a limited form, but it is not stored. And what is stored is not human readable. So in order for someone to try and break through the confidentiality measures we put into place, they would have to send off a lot of alarm bells first. So you can rest assured that we are not using your data for anything other than providing the service to you. And there is a very limited a possibility for another user within the organization to ever get access to your data. And if they did, we would know about it. So that has been priority number one from the get-go, because that is a paramount concern for attorneys using technology. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the tool. I'm going to start off with the simpler tools, just because they're easier to wrap your heads around and you'll sort of get a sense for how the UI works. Google has a variety of standards that they require to be used with any development. And that's why you'll see the very basic layout here. The UI isn't particularly nice. It's not particularly bad. It's Google's predetermined thing. So walking you through this should help you with your use of the tool. So from here, you can select whichever tool you want. This is the home page. You'll be selecting it from the side. Ignore the fact that I have 4 of them. You'll just have one. I have 4 because I have a bunch of other tools that I work on all the time. So let's start with the Insert Hyperlinks tool. This is for use with Google Docs. You can open it from anywhere because of the nature of how legal work is conducted. There may be times where you're in Google Drive, for example, reading a PDF of a deposition transcript, and you want to be able to cite to it in your document. This tool will handle that for you. So say you're in your Google Drive and there is a document you want to link to, you can copy the URL, you can add it to the URL input, and then wherever you want that to be cited. So say you cite to it as record. I'm going to go ahead and type in record here. Just you can add the word record or whatever. It can be a whole phrase if you like. So it could be like record page 3. I'm going to copy and paste it here to make sure it's present in the document. This is just a CLE that I gave. These are the materials. I don't want to do a legal document because of confidentiality reasons as I live stream. But yeah, here we go. I'm going to go ahead and add this. Okay. And now you can apply URLs to documents. and it'll find every instance of this and then add the link. And you can add as many links or keywords as you like. So I'm just picking stuff on the page, add it to the database. And this database persists. It's not something that goes away. So, over the course of days, weeks, months, you don't have to do this every time, which is kind of nice. So you'll get to a point where maybe you're writing a brief or a blog post or whatever the case might be, and you're not sure which links you have to put in there. You can go ahead and apply URLs to documents. And then wherever you're missing a link, you can just go ahead and add that missing link into the input over here and use that to fill out your links database. If you ever overlap, so say you don't remember what you had recently put in or put in, a month ago, months ago, whatever the case might be, and you add a different URL, it will overwrite it. So the text will get overwritten with this URL. So right now it's google.com. Let's apply the URLs to the document. It should change to example.com. Yep, there you go. So that is a way to sort of handle where if you have an incorrect link at some point. The other thing you can do is you can see your links. So when I click this, it's going to open a pop-up and you won't be able to see it, but I'm going to go ahead and copy it to a different page so you can see it. And this is a representation of the database. It's not the actual database. You should not edit this page. It won't break anything, but it'll mislead you. So if I went ahead and deleted this, it'll tell me, please don't edit this. But if I went ahead and did it, and then I go back here, let's remove the link and apply the URLs to the document, it's still going to be there. Oh. Well, no, I guess. Oh, I know what happened. So here, let's do this. This will fix it. I was going to explain to you what just happened, but I'm not gonna. And there you go. It's in there. So the reason for that is because I wanted a foolproof way to make sure that your URLs don't get destroyed. So if you do want to actually remove something, you're going to go ahead and copy either the text or the URL. You don't need both. You'll click delete a link. And you can delete by text or URL. Link. You'll get a confirmation. And if you go back, you'll see that it's been removed. If you ever want to delete all of the links, you can click delete all links. It only allows you to do it once per day currently due to some technical limitations. If you do it more than once, you'll get an error message. You can only delete once per day. But in a case where you haven't done it before, it'll delete every single link from your database. So use it with caution. Okay, let's go on to the insert template paragraphs tool. This tool is primarily for use in Gmail. However, you're going to be able to access it from wherever you are. Again, because of just how law firms work, I figured it would be nice to have, if you have, say, an agenda on your calendar or in Google Tasks, it's nice to be able to just grab that stuff you want to throw in here and copy and paste it in. So we're going to go ahead and click. If you haven't registered before, it'll open a pop-up that lets you sign up for a free trial for 7 days or use a coupon code for a free period of time, either 3 or 6 months, depending on the coupon you have. If you add the coupon to your free trial, you'll get that period of time plus the 7 days. So it'll say something like your free trial ends in 7 days from whenever the date is that you're accessing. and then it'll say your next billing date is 3 or 6 months later. However, it doesn't collect your credit card information. So really what's happening is it's saying you need to put a payment method on file before that time, or else get another coupon code. Again, I just want to mention for anyone who's joining us a little late, my goal with releasing these coupon codes is to get as many users as possible to give me feedback. So that is what I crave. I want your feedback. I want you to use it, abuse it, and then tell me what you need changed. So whether that's a new feature or if it's something that is broken, something that doesn't make sense to you, I want to know about it because I want to make this the best possible tool that I can. You can join us on Discord. That's my preferred method. That's where you can reach me at any time. However, there's also a support button down here, and you'll be able to submit questions or ask for features using this as well. And that's all I ask when you use your free coupons is please give me feedback. Share it. Feel free to share the coupon with your friends. Again, I just want people to use this and tell me how they would like to use it and what I can do better. So back to it. The template manager works with Gmail, but you can access it from anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and access it from here just to show. I already created a template. So I clicked on Manage Templates, and you'll see that the name of the template is here. You can edit your template. So right now it's live stream walkthrough. Let's just delete the walkthrough. Here's how I typed in my my message. Save changes. Now let's go back to Manage Templates, and you'll see that the title has changed. And now I just want to insert a draft. So if you don't have a draft message ready to go, you're going to get a draft created for you that you can insert into. So basically a blank slate that you can insert the template into. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Or you can insert it into your inbox. So you'll have, your inbox messages. You can choose based on subject line and click Insert Template. And now let's go back to Gmail and check it out. I'm going to refresh. And we're going to see both drafts. And here's the inbox one. Now, the use of this is essentially to streamline your services. You're going to make sure that you're not restating the same thing over and over again for various potential clients or team members or whoever the case might be. You want it to be as straightforward as possible. And it inserts the signature for you as well. That's just a convenience tool. Oops. Now, let's go back. Let's go. Oh, wrong one. AI research assistants. Okay. So this is the most interesting tool, I think. So it's backed by OpenAI technology, as I mentioned earlier. Again, we have a DPA that keeps everything confidential from OpenAI. So any use case that you're worried about them doing, it does not apply when using this tool. When using this tool, it's subject to their DPA with us, which does not permit them to use our data for any sort of training or technical evaluation. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through the interface here real quick. There's the categories section, which is important. This is going to be your organization for your tool. Think of it like a filing cabinet. Categories are different folders. So there's the default folder everyone gets. I created this one for this particular test, but you can create categories down here. You can also delete them. And again, think of them like folders. Just hold that thought. And you'll see that this folder's gone. I'm going to go ahead and create another one. And you'll see that this folder has returned. And you'll see these sub options below. Get an answer, get drafting assistance, add to knowledge, and then a little text box. So each of these is as they sound. Get an answer, get drafting assistance. Add to knowledge is the interesting thing. So most AI tools are simply tools that are trained across the whole internet's worth of data. They're very generalized. They're very sharp, but again, they have a hard time with specialized instances and specialized knowledge because they're generalized. You've all probably tested ChatGPT and asked it legal questions and gotten some silly results. This tool seeks to improve that. So what you can do is you can add to category. Again, think of it like a folder. It tells you which category you're using. And then it asks you what you would like to add to the information. So current item is the document name materials. That's for your own confirmation. As you can see in this upper left-hand corner, it is in fact called materials. I'm going to add this drive file. You can also add another file, in which case you use a URL. So that could be a URL of a document within Google Drive. It can also be an external URL, but external URLs are a little bit more iffy. If you're trying to use an external URL, the most reliable way to make sure that you're able to add that data is that you print it to PDF, put it in your Google Drive, and then add that file URL into the database. The other option is my own input, and that is just text-based. So if you don't want to go through the hassle, for example, of printing out a page for a paragraph of data, you can just copy and paste in here, and you can add the content like that. But I'm going to add this drive file. It takes a minute because on the back end, this is sending over to a document embedder. What a document embedder does is it takes all of this information and it turns it into a numerical representation for the AI to understand. And then it stores it in a folder private to you. So this is not accessible by anyone else, including ourselves. But it's also inaccessible by other folders. So if you were to change categories, that other category would not have access to this document unless you added it. Now, this information has been added from this particular document that I have open. Let's see. So I'm going to type in a question. So this tool has been fine-tuned specifically for attorney use cases. So it's a little weird sometimes when I ask other questions. So let's see how it does. And also, it's helpful the more information you have. So on the back end, what's happening is that this tool is asking the question to the AI about your own documents. It's saying, hey, go find documents about the question being asked. It returns the 10 most relevant documents, and then it bases its answer based on those documents. So let's try that again. This is a particularly large document, and I should have thought of that before I did this test. So all that processing takes some time. So it might not know the answer right away. So let me actually, give me 1 second. I'm going to open a smaller document. Let me just find one that's not confidential. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, okay. This will work. This is a project I'm working on. Writing a brief for response to the Copyright Office's request for comment. Let's go ahead and use this one. Benefits and risks of AI. Okay. So let's add more knowledge. And then we'll come back and ask about ethics. So a general rule of thumb, if you're ever going through and adding content and you're like, how long do I have to wait to ask a question of it? I think a minute is probably enough time in most cases. If it's, I mean, this one is about 20 pages long. So if it was something like 50 pages, I would think a few minutes, because there is a lot of back and forth processing happening. But let's go ahead and try and get an answer. Are there risks associated with AI? Okay. So this is from that other document. You'll see that spit out a little blurb answering the question. And it also, this is, I think, a key piece of the tool, is it will link to whatever source it used to answer. So again, it returns about 10 sources to look through before providing its answer, and it provides the first most relevant one. The reason we've limited it there is to not overwhelm you all. If it's requested that access to all of them be provided, we can definitely do that. But we figure if you open the source URL, and I'll open a new window so you can see what I'm doing. But if you go to the first URL, the first source URL, and you look to verify the information it gave you, and the first URL source that you look at doesn't line up, we figure that that means that it's gone awry. So you don't really need to look further than that. Like, it might return some more useful documents down the road, but as far as the AI's response is concerned, it didn't go well. So you'll see the speed at which information and art can be generated has increased tenfold. If you come here, you'll see in this document, increased tenfold. So it pulled directly from my document because I told it to. Now let's try and ask that same question of this other category, which should not have access. I don't think I gave it access previously. So let's go ahead and ask and see what happens. It should say, I don't know, or it might try and guess. That's always a risk with AI, is the attempts at guessing. And that's where you hear about cases of lawyers getting sanctioned for using the tool. See, okay. So it provided an answer, but not based on the information I gave it. And I have instructed the AI not to give me an answer unless I've provided it with the information in my documents. Again, this is tooled for attorneys. So these other questions are a little bit wonky for it, but to protect against that happening when you actually ask a question, it's showing you that it didn't actually find a source for its answer. So, user beware of that. But this is always going to be present. There's always going to be a piece of information. Whoops. What did I do there? There's always going to be a piece of information about where it got its answer from, which is great. Now let's go ahead and ask a question about this larger document, see if it's found something, or if it's, processed it. Okay. How do internet services Here we go. Okay. Internet services are applications or platforms that provide various functionalities. Internet services are applications or platforms that provide various functionalities to users through the internet. Yep. Now, you can also ask it for drafting assistance. Again, tooled for attorneys, this might be a little off. It's going to take some time. Remember, it's going through a lot of data all at once. So a little patience, I think, is warranted. Yeah. And you'll see little hints that it's based on your own document. And then you can also verify that. So let's see, copy paste the URL. So yeah, you can go and you can look at the source URL and verify that what it's saying is accurate. Yeah, so this is the bare bones essential functionality of this tool. Again, a lot can be added to it, and that's where you come in. So what I'm asking you to do is to take a promo code, get free access to this tool for 3 or 6 months, depending on what you signed up through. And just give me feedback on what you would like it to do. Either that can be a feature request or fix how something works or remove something. Maybe something's confusing. I don't care. I want to hear all of it. Some examples of what could potentially be added. Now, currently this is set up so that you can add information to your folders and you can get assistance yourself while you're in Google Drive. A very simple next step could be that you create folders that are specifically for your clients to interact with, or a particular client, or a team member, or all of your team members, whatever the case might be. So you would be able to take your folder and export it as a web page that other people could interact with. If that's something you want, try this tool out and let me know if you think it's workable for you and what you would like it to do, and I can go ahead and do that. Other options are pretty much anything with Google Workspace. One of the reasons I picked Google Workspace as this initial trial ground is that I'm really good at Google Workspace, and if there's a pretty integrated set of features that could always use a little bit of a boost. Like when you look for extensions or Workspace add-ons, like you're usually trying to solve a problem. Using these AI tools, we can kind of solve a lot of problems quickly. So an example could be return your calendar availability. So you could be, for instance, in your Gmail account and someone says they want to schedule a meeting with you. you could query the AI and you could say something like, when am I next available starting, this date or that date? Another example could be full service document automation. That's something I've always been interested in. And so it's something I'm actually working on the side, but looking to make it a fully AI based tool that anyone can use would be something I'd be interested in pursuing if there's interest. Um, Basically, anything that you can do on Google Drive or Google Workspace, you can ask about a feature there. But it's not restricted to that. It can be other things, again, like that, for example, web page chatbot tool based on your folders, or it could be using an API in the same way Zapier does. So, for example, tell me the weather is like a very simple example, but it can be much more complicated than that. It can be a lot of various things. One example could be search the news for the latest on a topic within your practice area, or it could be look up which laws changed in Texas in 2023, or there's a wide variety of use cases that are possible. And that's why I want your feedback. I don't want to just build something because I think it's good. I want to build something that you think is good. If you don't have a coupon code yet, just go ahead and subscribe to rise.law, and I'll make sure to drop you a coupon code. If you do already have a coupon code, or if you pick one up from wherever, even rise.law, feel free to share it with your attorney friends. If you would like to see this move off platform and be more universally available, let me know that too, and tell me why you think it would be useful to do that. Like, is it just you, or do you think you'd have a lot of friends who want it to be a particular way as well? I want to make this useful for you. Real quick, there are some questions that you might have. For example, how long is the tool going to be free to use? So first of all, we don't collect your credit card information when you use the coupon code, so you can't get just randomly charged. But my thought is that I will renew the free use of the tool for as long as possible. So I'll do it in 6-month increments, I think. So if you stick with the tool and you're giving me feedback, I'll give you another coupon for another 6 months, just in exchange for that continuous feedback. When will I start charging? So I'll start charging when the costs of running it justify me having to charge. So if everyone wants, for example, that web page chatbot tool, that's fine. I'm happy to do it, but it could get expensive fairly quickly for me, for like an individual, right? In the grand scheme, it's not going to be a lot per person. But what I think I would do first is I would do a donation-based thing or a pay-what-you-want kind of setup to try and keep that runway open as long as possible to keep this basically a free tool to use. If I am going to charge, I'll make sure to give everyone a heads up. I don't want to spring something on you and make you feel like you've put a bunch of time into a tool that now you can't use. My goal is not to charge some exorbitant amount. My goal is to sort of democratize access to this type of technology, which is 100% not the future of law. It's the state of law today. And bringing these tools into the hands of every attorney is, I think, a net benefit for the profession and for the public. So please, again, give me your feedback, join us on Discord, and share around with your friends. Thanks for tuning in, and let me know if you have any questions.